More about how Vancouver police shot an innocent man when they were looking for another man who was armed with a gun.
3 different officers fired 8 shots at the wrong guy. One bullet hit Brent Graham in the leg not long after he called 911 to report a suspicious vehicle. Our Tim Becker is digging through police records, and he joins us now live with more.
Yeah, well, investigators have been looking into what happened now for close to a couple of months, and they just turned their findings over to the Clark County prosecutor for review. Now, according to that report, Brent Graham was shot in part because of a breakdown in communication between the responding agencies not long after he called 911 about a suspicious vehicle.
It looks like there's some long rifles in the back seat.
Okay, hang on the line just a minute.
Brent Graham didn't know it, but around 9:34 a.m. on October 31st, he had just discovered the car belonging to attempted murder suspect John Kendall.
He had the shotgun pointed at me.
An hour earlier, Kendall had shot Abigail Mounts in the head. According to the investigators' report, what unfolded after that resulted from gaps in law enforcement communication and chaos.
What kind of vehicle?
It's a Buick.
By the time Graham first called 911, police had been searching for Kendall for an hour. So Graham's phone tip unknowingly and quickly brought a SWAT team to this overpass about 100 yards away. They arrived at 9:42 a.m. and also verified a cell phone ping from Kendall at the same location. The report says in the time leading up to then, some information police were sharing was conflicting and or inaccurate. They were broadcasting that Kendall may have switched cars, so Graham's blue Ford didn't rule him out. When Graham left it for a second look at the car he'd called into 911 about, Officer Brian Francis thought it was Kendall working his way into the woods to elude police. Francis told investigators he didn't have time to give commands to the suspect, and he fired his rifle while yelling, "Shoot him," to the other 2 officers. That was at 9:45 a.m. A minute later, Graham called 911 a second time.
911, I can help you. And 911.
And I'm armed.
Who's this?
Leg.
Who's this?
Right femur.
He'd been shot in the leg. Investigators partly blame dispatchers, who they say never asked Graham for a description of his own car, never told him of the potential danger he was in, and never told him to leave the area. But 4 minutes after the shooting, they did call him back.
Eclipse 3, this is Brent.
911 here. Was somebody been shot there?
Yeah, I've got a police officer with me, and I've been hit.
You've been hit. Is there direct pressure on the wound?
Yes.
Now, investigators also found that dispatchers failed to tell the first responders that Graham was in the same general area as the suspicious vehicle he was calling about. His attorney does plan on filing a lawsuit, and the Clark County prosecutor is still deciding whether the 3 officers involved will face charges. So we'll stay on this story, definitely let you know what happens next. For now, reporting live in downtown Vancouver, Tim Becker, KOIN 6 News.